Hello and welcome to What's the Word Windsor, the official podcast of the town of Windsor. I'm Benjamin Boddicker, Creative Services Supervisor, and we're so glad you're joining us. Today we're welcomed by Brian Rowe, Windsor's Public Works Director, and in this episode we'll take a behind-the-scenes look at essential functions of public works, from keeping roads safe to preparing for major snowstorms. Brian will also share how these services shape daily life in Windsor and offer advice for those interested in public service. Now, let's turn it over to your host, Communications Coordinator, Maddie Strassheim.
Hello, everyone. I'm Maddie Strassheim. What's the Word, Windsor? I'm here with Brian Rowe, Public Works Director. Brian, we are so excited to have you.
Thanks for having me, Maddie and Ben. Looking forward to it.
Yes. So I just wanted to start off about kind of what your background is and how you got started with the town. I know you've lived here for quite some time, but what made you want to work for the town?
So it's a long story. So you are correct. I've lived here practically my entire life. Had a family, had a large farm outside of Windsor, and had cattle and raised, had corn and barley and wheat and all that. And being able to be around heavy equipment was where I love being in tractors, loaders, feed trucks, dump trucks. So that's where the passion came for equipment. So then my grandfather at the time ended up selling our family farm, and he was on the water and sewer board and everything, and he kind of mentioned, hey, there's Public Works. And at the time, he knew Terry Walker, who was the Public Works Director for over 45 plus years, who I learned a lot from for where I am today. I owe him a lot of props for I wouldn't be where I am without him. But got a chance to see what Public Works was all about as a seasonal employee way back when I was a freshman in high school, and kind of started and got a chance to be out in the field and see the different things that Public Works brings and to all the citizens and the things that we do behind the scenes that people don't know what Public Works is all about, and doing great things. So as far as like a stop sign, I can't remember exactly. It's kind of over in the old town part of the area that I changed out, and it's still there. And just being able to go by that, it's been 24 years ago, that you leave your mark. You know what I mean? There's so many different ways you leave a mark on a community. And kind of from that day forward, being outside, doing something different from working in streets or working in utilities when we don't like to say it a whole lot, but water leaks. Doing something different every day outside, getting a chance to know people, networking from other municipalities, contractors, just making a difference is kind of why I like it. And number one, I grew up here, and getting a chance to see what you do and share it with friends and family, and you're making a difference. It means a lot.
Yeah. And you kind of like mentioned this a little bit, but you started, like you said, when you were a freshman in high school. What was kind of the trajectory of you becoming Public Works Director?
That's a great question. So it's kind of like I mentioned, I started as a seasonal. I was going to college. After I got out of high school, I was a seasonal for a few more years. I think I was seasonal for about 5 years. And then at the time when I was graduating from college, the town had just got a brand new utilities technician position. It's kind of the starting in Public Works. Mm-hmm. And I applied for it and happened to luck out and got on board. And that's kind of how my full-time career started with the town. Is I call it, you started off as kind of a runt, start at the bottom of the totem pole and get into kind of the dirty jobs, which you kind of have to have that to learn the experiences of when you're fixing a water break, you're in a hole doing the dirty jobs or doing potholes. That not every job is that glorified work, you know what I mean? But somebody's still got to do it. And then working my way up to an equipment operator, to a heavy equipment operator, getting a chance to, even as a utility tech, you get a chance to operate those equipment, but you kind of start off in smaller, like a pickup plow or, doing some hand shoveling, but even just operating a snowblower. But it's kind of a step process, and get up to being operating a motor grader, a loader, and a backhoe for, again, I keep bringing back water breaks, but snowstorms. The tornado was a big event that I was here and played a part of that you'll never forget. 2-foot snowstorms back in 2008, from flooding events in 2013. All those skills kind of came in handy in helping clean up the town. But then I bumped up to street supervisor, kind of, we went to training classes that are offered throughout number one, the country, but in Colorado, it's called the Colorado Technical Assistance Program. It's called LTAP. Went through that program, got a chance to network with a bunch of people from across Colorado. Obviously, our local neighbors were Collins, Loveland, and Greeley, but a lot of the smaller municipalities. There's a lot of great leaders that you can learn from. You can take something from pretty much every day. So there's kind of a quote that everybody we're lifelong learners. And if you're not learning, then I don't know what to say about that. But we're always learning, and you can learn from something from every day. So after that, from a supervisor, went up to I think it was a street superintendent. I've had a couple of positions, so I'm trying to remember all of them moving up through the chain. So superintendent position, then we went to a public works superintendent, where I was overseeing the stormwater, fleet, and streets. And then at the time, I applied for the public works director right after Terry Walker had retired. And unfortunately, I wasn't lucky at that time to get it. There was another person that was better, which it pushed me to go seek out what am I missing? What do I need to have to move to that next step? Because it's not always easy to hear that you're not ready, but sometimes we all need to have that to find out what are our weaknesses. We all can do better, right?
Right, and it shows that you're also resilient too, like that you're going to keep that lifelong learning and keep on trying to achieve better results.
That is correct. And but back to in that public, I would say the public services superintendent works. You also learn from your employees. So I have been around lots of great employees in my time with the town of Windsor, and that's who shapes you, who makes you a better leader. And I just name a couple who I've been with for quite some time. You got Rob Winter, Sharwin Walter, and Paul Sheridan. They're kind of the longest tenure staff that are still there. But there's a lot of other individuals we're starting to build a team that have been here a little bit longer. You can learn something from somebody every day. We have a new stormwater supervisor in Lucas. He's bringing a background of I think we haven't really had for the town. I think it was a great hire, very knowledgeable in his area. We got Chris Claymore, who's out in the wastewater treatment facility, who took the place of Dennis Markham. He's bringing a lot of new things to the table for our big project that we're working on right now for the new wastewater treatment facility. And then we got kind of go off subject here, but I apologize. But I want to show love where love needs to be given. We got Derek Ogden, who's our fleet manager. He's bringing stuff new to the table and improving our fleet services. So that's just kind of that. But after I got the public works job, it's just kind of learning the ropes through number one, your town manager, your deputy town manager, public services director. But you have other directors throughout the town and engineering, and just it's all about that networking of showing your strengths, because everybody can help you out along the way. So it's just not you. You got to have others get to where you are. So.
Yeah. What do you think makes Windsor so unique in an aspect where people want to stay with the town for so long?
For me, it's a family feel, like a culture feel. I know that's going to kind of sound weird to those watching or listening, but we have families at home, right? You have your good and bad days, right? You have the same thing at work, right? So to me, it's that family atmosphere. You have a team that's willing to have your back when you need it, and those ones that are everybody who's out there. We have a dirty job. Everybody knows it. Water break is an example I use, or a snowstorm. It's not the funnest part of our job, but it is our job, and we got to do it. And
somebody has to do it.
That's right. And there's a lot of great successful outcomes when it comes to these events, and people learn stuff, and there's stuff that maybe doesn't go so well. That doesn't mean we fail. It means we just learn. But I think it's just that family and the culture feel that willing to learn, take on new things, growth. It's really up to the beholder of how, where they want to go with their career in public works. But to me, it's that culture and family feel.
Yeah. There's so many facets to public works. And you kind of mentioned a few of them by speaking about some of your employees. But for people that don't really know, what exactly does the public works team do, and what do you guys kind of cover within the town?
Yeah, it's a great question. So public works is a couple of different divisions. So you got our streets and alleys, who maintain your roads, roadside mowing, plowing, which when I say plowing, it's just not them. They kind of, after the snowstorm's done, they're the one that's always out there. But Snow plowing is considered a public services team, which is multiple divisions from streets, utilities. When I mean utilities, that's our water distribution, wastewater collections teams. You got our fleet team, you got our parks team, you got our open space team, facilities team. There's a lot of people combined in the snow, and when it comes to the snow team, so it's just not public works. But then the other teams in public works, like I mentioned, you got our water distribution who maintain our water lines. We don't necessarily treat it, but we make sure that all the lines are working. You're flushing your hydrants, you're exercising your valves. Then you got the wastewater collections team who are always out there making sure that the flow of the best way to say it, the brown stuff is flowing towards the plant. They're the ones out there doing manhole inspections and jetting in camera and lines. And there's a new thing that we're doing called acoustic testing, where it sends sound waves through the lines, and if the higher the number, it kind of tells if there's something in the line. There might be a root or some type of, beach ball or, just something's in the line that we need to either go camera and see what it is and jet it. So that's that. Then you got our fleet team who maintains all our town vehicles. And when I mean town vehicles, I'm talking about public works, engineering, parks, facilities, but then that's our PD. The fire department's obviously not part of the town, so we don't maintain their equipment, but the police, we do maintain that. Stormwater team, maintain all our storm inlets and outlets and storm pipes, making sure everything's draining towards the river and it's clean. And then we got our wastewater treatment facility, where we're treating, the brown stuff and releasing it down the river. So then we got our admin team and Tony and Rhonda who, they're the face. They get the phone calls that pass it on. So I call them the real bosses. They're the ones that unfortunately take those phone calls that we, don't always want to hear, but sometimes they're all legit, and it's our jobs to get out there and fix what the community's asking. So.
Yeah. What do you think the community should know about the Public Works team?
I like to bring up our mission. Our mission is to provide essential services to protect public health and improve quality of life. And, that's our job every day is to go out there and make things better, the roads better, safer, smoother, make sure you have safe drinking water. Number one, you have it at the tap, your toilet flushes. We have vehicles to be able to, the police officers can get to those who are in need in emergencies. We're helping our neighbors downstream. We're always doing something to improve the life of the community, making sure it's enjoyable, it's a friendly place. I think that's one thing I'll say about, I feel like our public works team stands out amongst others. It's high performing. They all take pride in what they do. They're willing to help each other out. But it's when you come into Windsor, I think it's our image. Our image is, it stands out. Our roads, there's not a lot of weeds. We sweep it daily, when we can. If it's not freezing, they're clean. Everything's just rolling like it's supposed to. There are things that don't always work. That's everywhere, right? But I think Windsor stands out just because of that pride factor. Everybody in that public works team has pride in their job and they enjoy it, and they rock it.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too that's kind of amazing is the amount of trophies you guys have. You have a full trophy case in the public works facility.
So that is one thing
crazy.
I wasn't gonna. Hopefully, it wasn't gonna be brought up, but it was brought up. So I appreciate that, Ben. The team, it's definitely that team of I like to brag about ourselves, and we should. You're gonna have times where things aren't going well, but I feel like we don't celebrate the wins, and I call those wins of. We do have a trophy case of some lot of great asset management awards, snow awards. That's not one person. That took everybody from even here at Town Hall, but at the Public Services Facility, others. But it takes everybody, and we should be celebrating our wins. And I feel like we don't do that enough. So that's something we need to be doing.
Agreed. You guys are kind of like the unsung heroes of the town. And I was even sitting in on kind of your training a little bit earlier this month about snow and ice.
Yeah.
And you guys had mentioned something that was kind of like in the slides, that even heroes need heroes. And I think that's really cool. So if you want to like touch on that a little bit.
You bet. So what that slide that I put in there that we've been showing for years is, so you got police and fire. Everybody, all the little boys and girls and adults, they kind of look up to the firefighters and EMTs as those are the first responders. Well, we are the first responders before the first responders. So in a snow event, flood events, or to get those emergency personnel to where they're going, it's those public works employees that are out there doing it. It's the utility workers. And I think that's kind of the lost focus. At the end of this month is first responders week or month for public works. And that's something that's kind of new for a lot of people. People don't think public works is a first responder. And we are a first responder. Snowstorms, being able to have school and get school buses to where they need to be, the fire trucks to wherever you want to, where they need to go, but the ambulance to wherever they need to be. It's the public works people who are out in front doing the dirty jobs. It's not always going to be daylight outside. It's nighttime. It's early mornings. It's cold. It can be very hot, but when in time of need, it's those public works employees that are out there rocking it.
Yeah, and that even extends to things like tornadoes and stuff like that too. They're
Correct.
out there blocking roadways to make sure that people don't go down things that are dangerous or other things like that too.
That's correct. Yep.
And you guys also do so many helpful events for the town, like cleanup days, Touch a Truck. Do you want to touch on those events a little bit too?
Yeah, so the Touch Truck is a fun event that we do every year at the Public Services Facility during National Public Works Week, where we have the assistance of Maddie, who helps pass the word. Which thanks, Maddie, appreciate
Of course, of course.
Again, it takes all of us. Maddie is part of the communication team, but she's technically part of the Public Works team as far as passing the message. And she does a great job of that. But passing out the flyers to all the schoolboys and little girls. But I see as we're all kids at heart. We're all going to be. We all we get older and get gray and get wrinkly. But that's a fun event where all ages get to come and sit behind the big wheel and get a chance to see what your tax dollars are. As far as our loaders and our snow plows, this is equipment that takes care of your roads during snowstorms and water breaks. So they get to see it. It's for everybody to come and check it out, have a little fun. As far as the cleanup days events, those are two events that we provide in the fall and spring, where citizens can come and recycle tires, their leaves, and we take care of that stuff. We don't it doesn't all go to the landfill. And I think there's maybe some out there that think that a lot of the stuff goes to the landfill, but it doesn't. We recycle it at Ewing's or A1 as far as leaves, yard waste, recycled metal. We take it and recycle it. Anything that can be recycled, we do our best to recycle it. But those are days where, if you're coming off of Christmas and you got all these new toys and TVs, et cetera. You got all these boxes, right? What are you going to do with it? A lot of people save it for this event and they bring it to us, or TVs. You got the old school
box TV.
And now you have this fancy new flat screen. Well, you got to get rid of it. And spring is a great time to come to us, and we recycle it, and they take them off and take them apart and use parts. But as far as the new event that we just brought on, actually this week we started, is the new leaf and branch drop program.
Yes.
Where we started, and the reason why we started it is the fall leaf cleanup days event. The leaves haven't all fallen yet, and there's branches, etc. And the public kind of mentioned that that's something that we can improve upon, and we heard, and so we're doing our best to try something out here where it gives citizens time to bring their leaves to us from October 13th to November 15th. So it's a good program, but also as far as that program, the same employees, those are public works employees, parks and open space and trails, forestry. Those same employees are the ones that do snow. So it's going to be an event that we have to work hand in hand, and there might be some days, unfortunately, we might have to close it because of weather purposes. But if the weather's great, we're going to have it open because those are the same employees that there's other things that had to be done for the town. So we offer great events, but everything can't just stop for one thing. So.
Yeah. I mean, from fall to winter, we have snow season coming up. What can you tell us about how the Public Works team prepares for snow season?
Yeah, that's a great question. So snow is, you're always preparing. So we actually, we start going over our policies and procedures in the summertime where we can update stuff. And then it's about, I would say towards the end of summer, first of fall, you got our fleet team getting with all the departments to bring in equipment. So when the first day snow comes and it starts falling, we're not saying, oh, we got to get plows on. No, we've already checked it all out. All the cutting edges, sanders are running well. So that's where our fleet team comes in handy and making sure everything's good. But also during this time, we have snow and ice conferences that we go to that I am actually a APWA, a Western Snow and Ice Conference committee member, that we all go up and just learn stuff, network. A lot of great people come from all over the country and world to present. We actually have people that go and present on our program because it's one of the top programs in the country, and just kind of share what we do here. And they compete with the best rodeo. What I mean by rodeo, it's they go up there and compete in a course with loaders, graders, skidsters, and tandem axle plow trucks and single axle plow trucks, and they go up there and compete to show off their skills. It's kind of bragging rights, if you get a chance to win and get that shiny belt buckle, it's bragging rights that you were the best, loader operator, etc. We do have this year. Phil got in our parks department got second place, and I think in the skidster event last year, Jason and Willis and Sharon Walter, I believe they got third place in the tandem axle. And then a few years back, I won the loader event. So we do have a lot of great operators for the town of Windsor. But so we prepare going to those things, but then we come back and have our own internal rodeo where we go over everything with operators, start going through how it operates. They get a chance to ask questions about how when you think of a sander, a lot of people just think, oh, it just throws salt out. But it's all technology now, right? You got GPS in there. You got controls where you're adjusting the amount of pounds per lane mile of de-icing materials you're putting out. So we're going over all that, the plow, how it works, how to change out cutting edges, the technique of plowing. I think that's where a lot of people think that, oh, you just go out and drop the plow and go. There's technique to it, because if you put it in the wrong places, you cause hazards. You cause tripping things for ADA. But it's always... You got to find the right places to put it. Each snowstorm is different. You can't plow it the same. So if it's a wet snowstorm, you can't go very fast because it throws it on people's sidewalks. And drier snow, it doesn't go as far. So it's just not the same thing all the time. So.
Yeah. Well, I still have a lot of practice because my time in this snowplow was 3 minutes. But hey, I've never driven a snowplow before, so I think that was pretty good.
Right?
I think so.
You had fun.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
Hey.
And I think more people should know how to drive a snowplow.
I totally agree. So with that, we do have a program where we like to have people come out and ride with us, get a chance to see what it's all about. And, it's not always going to be that somewhat nice day. It's going to be come out and ride with us in the middle of the night when it's Star Wars. You get all these snowflakes coming at you, and it's
hyperspeed.
Cold. Yes, come out and see what it's like, and you get a chance to see what the workers go through and what it's all about.
Yeah. How does the snow team make sure the town is safe during a snowstorm?
So we have priorities that we have set. Again, like I mentioned, each snowstorm is different, so there's not one set priority. I think a lot of people think that when you think of priorities, it's off inches when it reaches a certain amount. That we're going to be doing certain things. That is true to a point, but it's not all and be all. So you got wind, you got drifting, you got temperatures changing. So we have to adapt and overcome it every time. But it's all off of priority. So you got your arterials and collectors are our priority one, but then you got our residential through streets which is our priority two, and then you got our cul-de-sacs and dead end streets is priority three. But again, it's not just one thing off of inches. There's a lot of variables that go into it, and we're constantly watching the weather. We have multiple sources that we're using throughout the year. We have I would say 8 everybody has an app, right?
Yeah.
Everybody still uses those. You got your 9 News, Channel 7, Channel 4 News, Fox 31, etc.
Yeah.
But we have our own internal services it's called a DTN service that CDOT uses that we use that kind of shows us the radar. We have a service that we're working with Skyline for the past couple of years where it's a weather forecaster providing us information, data, just a forecast of what they're seeing. And then the town just recently this year brought on Cody the Weather Guy for events. So we have plenty of data that's telling us. Unfortunately, we all know Mother Nature. She's going to make the decision what's going to happen. But usually how we're making the determination is you take all these models, and if a couple of them are saying the same thing, that's what we're rolling with. But there are going to be times where we rolled with 5 of them start saying this, and there's only 3 of them, and it changes. We might be off. But at the end of the day, we adapt and we overcome.
Yeah. And if residents have more questions about snow, they can go to windsorgov.com/snow and learn more about it. So, Brian, what advice do you have for people looking to get into a job in public works?
That's a great question. Put yourself out there. Go see what public works is all about, to see what the different aspects of public works is. Like I mentioned, you got your water distribution, wastewater collection. You got your streets and stormwater and fleet and wastewater treatment facilities. You got to get yourself out there and kind of go see what each area is about, because you might find out, hey, you're not about the brown stuff that's flowing, you know what I mean? But you're maybe a mechanic. You know, you like working with your hands, or you like to be in the street and operating equipment. So it really just depends on the beholder, and knowing the area that you want to work. So Windsor is different from Fort Collins. We're not, everybody has some of the same divisions in ways, but they're different in ways where, we just brought on streetlights. We aren't the ones maintaining them. We have a contractor who does it, but Fort Collins, they actually have staff that do that. So if you're wanting to do that, you got to go where that's at. But there are services that all of us do have the same, but it really depends on the beholder of what you want to do. Go out there, find out, research, and don't be afraid to go stop by a public works department if it's not just us, Windsor, anywhere, and just go find out. And they're more than likely to probably say, let's go for a ride. Let's go do this. So you can see what it's all about. So
Yeah. Do you have anything else you would like to share?
As far as the other question of what's out there, there's classes. I know Front Range offers a training course for public works employees. Believe it or not, there's a degree for that out there. That's not something that you think about, but public works it's not always fun and games, but you're a very important and essential employee, and you bring a lot of important aspects of keeping the community great. And if you want to make your community stand out and feel like you're making a difference, I highly recommend you looking into public works. So.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Brian. We had such a good time with you here today, and I'm so glad that the public knows more about public works and all the amazing work that you guys do every single day. It's just really cool to see you guys in motion and in action all the time, especially from my perspective.
Well, I appreciate that. And that goes to all the great employees that we have. I know I mentioned a few names. I forgot a lot of great other ones. It takes all 35 of the employees in public works. So if everybody's watching right now, I apologize I didn't mention your name, but you all mean something, not just to me, but to number one, the town, but in the community. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Brian. If you want to see more episodes like this, check out more of our YouTube videos for What's the Word Windsor, and we hope to see you on the next episode.